Hello and welcome to News 500. I'm Stephen Allen.
And I'm Tom Webb.
And these are the headlines.
Anti-UKIP demonstrators interrupted Nigel Farage's Sunday lunch before he'd even got through the first course. And that was just for starters.
Wild boars in Britain are becoming so aggressive they're hunting lambs in packs. But without thumbs, how do they open those packs?
A female diner at McDonald's bit into a McMuffin and spat out a metal bolt. Could have been worse. She's allergic to nuts.
Crowds lined the streets of Leicester as Richard III's remains were taken through the city. Old, decaying and smelling, Leicester is a city in the Midlands.
Oh, it's harsh.
Yeah, but it's the city that gave us Gok Wan.
Fair enough.
King Richard had been in a car park for 500 years. The whole thing cost more than £100,000, and that was just the parking fines.
A woman in India has called off her wedding after her husband-to-be failed a very simple maths test.
He's a dick.
Perhaps that's why Natalie Bennett is still single.
You know, I heard she's so bad at maths that a builder shouted to her that he wanted to give her one, and she demanded a recount. Japan is so concerned about its low birth rate that the government is staging publicly funded speed dating events. I suppose some people find a 70-hour working week somewhat gets in the way of romance. The UK's birth rate hasn't faced the same problem. Our secret? Weatherspoons.
Yeah. A tiger leapt to its death from an 11th floor apartment in China. Officials from Apple have denied it ever worked in one of their factories.
It's because they're little hands in it, so they can get in there. Researchers suggested that ISIS are highly likely to target the London Underground in a chemical attack. Presumably, Londoners will deal with the problem the same way they deal with every public transport inconvenience, by looking away and pretending it's not happening. Possibly the only reason people read the Metro. David Cameron has said he will not stand for a third term as Prime Minister, and nor will Ed Miliband, or for a first or a second.
Cameron has announced several possible successors: Boris Johnson, Theresa May, and, if the party has designs on moving even further to the right, Tony Blair.
Ah, Herr Blair. The fact that David Cameron even mentioned that he won't serve a third term has confused many, including Natalie Bennett, who's still trying to work out what a third is. Do you know, she's so bad at maths, she went into Boots and got a 2-for-1 deal and demanded a recount.
I don't think that happened. George Osborne has announced that people over 60 may now withdraw their pension as a lump sum.
Yes.
Critics say many may spend it on useless boy toys like Lamborghinis. Ooh, when will they stop? Just like the £2.4 billion a year the Chancellor is spending on Trident.
Good point. Although it is a nice chewing gum.
Speculation has begun about a possible replacement for Jeremy Clarkson. Unfortunately, all those with the necessary credentials, sexist, racist, boorish and right-wing, are currently involved with the general election.
Speaking of pointless things in entertainment news, here's two of them now.
Thanks, Steve. Welcome to our new segment, the Mark and Linea Project, where we discuss the latest entertainment gossip in 60 seconds.
Ish. Getting jiggy with the Lawrences, if that did rhyme.
We'll be getting straight into the hard-hitting artsy stuff, like Gwyneth Paltrow has shown just how down-to-earth she is by publishing a recipe for boiled eggs on her blog. You pop it into hot water and then it's time for the conscious unshelling.
Or you just take a saucepan and you put an egg in it and you boil it and then you just charge people money to tell them that you're going to boil an egg. I never heard so much foolishness in my whole... Goodbye, Norma Jean, and I said,
Just as it took the BBC decades to realise Jimmy Savile was a paedophile.
But they did, I bet you any money. Yeah, how much money was Jimmy Savile bringing in? Enough, innit? Enough!
The penny's also only just dropped that Jeremy Clarkson is a bit of a wanker. We thought we'd look back at a couple of his previous issues before the fracas. He actually also had to apologise to the Mexican ambassador for calling Mexicans lazy, feckless, flatulent oafs, with moustaches, leaning against fences, asleep. Sort of a bit like if they took everything your nan said that was offensive, everything she thought that was offensive and managed to hold it in, added an extra dollop of racism and then broadcast it to the whole world.
But they never did nothing with the man and he was still there.
He also said the media hire black Muslim lesbians just for positive discrimination. Well, I don't think the media employ token minorities that much.
No, they don't, but Jeremy Clarkson makes the BBC enough money. Believe me, he'll be back because Money is power. You're going to learn that. That's like what that man said in that film where he said it, which I can't remember.
Gandhi?
No, I think it was Free Willy.
Free Willy.
Oh, I lost my heart to a starship trooper. Because I can't say starship stupor.
Sarah Brightman is going to record her next song in space. Might sound a bit like that. Bit like that. And we'll be working with ex-husband Andrew Lloyd Webber. He does musicals like... Does he do The Lion King? No, he does...
The Phantom
one
of
of
the Opera.
Yeah, that one.
Like, hurt-faced.
And now the minorities have finished discussing the tedious celeb gossip, it's back to the straight, white, middle-class men in the studio for in-depth political debate.
Starship Trooper.
Sports news! In the match between Manchester United and Liverpool United, Steven Gerrard lasted less than 1 minute. This quick exit left Liverpool fans confused and angry, while cameras captured his wife in the stands with a wry smile across her face.
I don't get it.
The joke is that he plays football like he makes love.
But we all do that. I make love like I play football. I swap ends halfway through.
A 104-year-old woman in America has put her longevity down to drinking Dr. Pepper and was given a gift basket of the drink.
I do it with 10 other men.
She gets a gift basket. It's probably 6 bottles. I'd say she deserves a free lifetime supply, which is probably 4 bottles.
And I work really hard to make sure that I don't get sent down.
An internet video has gone viral this week. When will they stop? After an explorer barged in on a pair of giant tortoises getting their freak on. The enraged tortoise then proceeded to very angrily and painfully slowly pursue the man for several minutes. Steven Gerrard should probably take note.
And there's all the injury time. Tim Burton is making an updated version of Dumbo. It'll be a challenge, but I'm sure they'll find a way of making me fancy Johnny Depp, even when he's dressed as a baby elephant.
And if you're being annoyed by someone, there's a new website called dicksbymail.com.
Dicks.
Which allows someone to send a bag of dicks through the mail. Bag sizes come in Pinky, Average, Porn Star and Piers Morgan.
That's it for this week's News 500, the week's news in 500 seconds.
Dicks.